In 1964, a young American walked into a Japanese office and lied.
He told the executives he owned a company, even though he had no office, no employees, no warehouse, and no capital, just belief and ambition.
That lie would eventually become Nike. But before the billions, before the swoosh, before Michael Jordan, Nike almost collapsed twice.
This is not just a success story, it is a survival story.
Phil Knight was not a powerful businessman at the start. He was a middle-distance runner at the University of Oregon, competitive, restless, and obsessed with improvement.
Training under coach Bill Bowerman, he noticed that the best running shoes came from Germany, with Adidas dominating the sport at high prices.
Knight believed Japanese manufacturers could produce high-quality shoes at lower cost and compete globally.
It sounded unrealistic at the time, but disruption rarely begins with approval, it begins with conviction.
After graduating from Stanford, Knight traveled to Japan and secured a meeting with executives at Onitsuka Tiger.
When they asked what company he represented, he invented one on the spot: Blue Ribbon Sports.
Speaking with confidence, he convinced them to grant him U.S. distribution rights.
Months later, the first shipment arrived, and Knight stored the boxes in his parents' basement.
Driving to local track meets and selling shoes from the trunk of his car, one pair at a time, with no marketing budget and no brand recognition.
Every sale mattered because failure was always close. Meanwhile, Bill Bowerman became the innovation engine of the operation.
He did not simply coach runners. He engineered speed.
He tore shoes apart, cut them open, reduced weight, experimented with materials, and searched obsessively for performance advantages.
When he examined the Tiger shoes, he saw potential but also flaws. And together, he and Knight invested $500 each to formalize Blue Ribbon Sports in 1964.
Knight handled growth and risk, Bowerman handled design and performance.
As sales increased through the late 1960s, tension grew with Onitsuka Tiger, which began exploring other U.S. distributors.
Knight realized that his entire company depended on a supplier he did not control.
If Tiger terminated the agreement, Blue Ribbon would collapse overnight, drowning in debt and leaving employees without jobs.
Faced with this existential threat, Knight made a brutal decision. They would build their own brand
and compete directly with their supplier, even if it meant legal battles and financial strain.
In 1971, they launched Nike, named after the Greek goddess of victory, suggested by early employee Jeff Johnson.
Ever wondered how Nike became Nike? It all started with a betrayal.
The brand we know today was once a distributor for a Japanese shoe company, Onitsuka Tiger.
But when they discovered their supplier was cheating them, it was game over.
They needed a logo, and a design student named Carolyn Davidson created a simple curved mark intended to convey motion and speed.
She was paid $35. Knight did not initially love the design, but deadlines forced acceptance, and the swoosh was born.
A brand alone, however, was not enough. They needed a breakthrough product.
Ever wonder how a waffle iron changed sports forever?
In 1971, legendary track coach Bill Bowerman was watching his wife make breakfast and had a brilliant idea.
He poured rubber into the waffle iron, creating a lightweight, grippy sole.
This simple experiment became the iconic waffle sole, launching Nike into history.
From the track to the streets, Nike has created some of the most iconic sneakers in history.
It all started with the Cortez in 1972, a revolutionary running shoe that became a pop culture staple.
Then came the game-changing waffle sole, born from a waffle iron, believe it or not. This innovation offered incredible traction and catapulted Nike to fame.
Of course, we can't forget 1982's Air Force One, the first basketball shoe with air technology, now a global fashion icon.
And then, His airness, Michael Jordan, and the Air Jordan 1 changed the sneaker game forever.
What's your favorite Nike classic? Let me know below. Please write in comments section.
One morning, Bowerman stared at his wife's waffle iron and imagined its grid pattern as a running sole that could provide superior traction while remaining lightweight.
He poured molten rubber into the machine, destroying it but producing a prototype that would change athletic footwear.
The Nike Waffle trainer, released in 1974, became a sensation among runners, establishing Nike as an innovator rather than a distributor.
By the mid-1980s, however, Nike faced another crisis.
Reebok capitalized on the aerobics boom and captured significant market share, while Nike's sales declined and investor confidence weakened.
The company that once disrupted giants risked becoming irrelevant. Then came one of the boldest baits in sports marketing history, signing a rookie basketball player named Michael Jordan in 1984.
Nike built a signature shoe around him, the Air Jordan design in bold black and red colors that violated NBA uniform rules.
When the league banned the shoes, Nike paid the fines and turned the controversy into a marketing advantage.
The ban generated massive attention, and Air Jordan evolved into a cultural symbol embraced by music, streetwear, and youth identity.
Nike transformed from a performance running brand into a global lifestyle powerhouse.
Still, the company needed a unifying message, and in 1988 it launched the Just Do It campaign, 3 simple words that spoke not only to elite athletes but to anyone pushing past hesitation.
The campaign reignited growth and deepened emotional loyalty, proving that Nike was no longer selling shoes. It was selling belief.
From a basement startup and car trunk sales operation to a corporation generating tens of billions in annual revenue, Nike's journey was defined by bold decisions at every stage. The Bluff in Japan, the break from its supplier, the waffle iron innovation, the gamble on Jordan, and the reinvention through powerful storytelling.
The real secret behind Nike's empire is not leather or rubber, but narrative and risk.
Every turning point required nerve, and every major success followed a moment of uncertainty.
Nike was never built on comfort. It was built on confrontation, courage, and conviction.
The swoosh was not designed to be perfect. It was designed to move.
And that is how a lie in a meeting room became one of the most powerful brands in history, proving that empires do not start with certainty, they start with belief.
If you enjoyed uncovering the rise of Nike, subscribe to the story behind big brands, because the next empire might surprise you.
Subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms.
Thanks for watching the stories behind big brands.